Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we will be learning strings in Java, and actually we will be learning about some methods which you can use in string inside Java. Okay, so the methods which we will be discussing, methods as in like these are all functions inside Java with the help of which you can play with the string actually. Okay, so first one is length. Okay, like how can you extract the length of the string? So this with the particular function that is length, you can extract the length of the string. Okay, then it comes like suppose you want to join two strings. Okay, suppose uh, coding is one string and other string is C++. You want to join both of them. So for that you can use concat. So concat stands for joining two strings together. Okay, this is one another method in Java. Next comes up like if you want to check if two strings are equal, okay, at that point of time you can directly use equals method. Okay, for checking out like if the two strings are equal or not. Okay, so let's check how these three works actually. Fine, so this is a string which we created yesterday, so let's work on this itself. Just maximize this one. Okay, we'll start with the class name. So class str public static void main. String args. Bracket, and after that let's take our first string. So string data type, and let's say our first string is suppose S. Okay, and inside this I write let's say Sachin. Okay, now I just want to demonstrate the first method which we are using today, that is length. So I want to extract the length of this particular string, right? So let me take another variable. Let's say the variable name is let me take a variable as b, and here I'll write length, and then I'll write the variable name. Okay, and after that I'll print system.out.println b. Okay, so here let's specify. Fine. So what's happening? There is a variable b in which the length of this particular string will get extracted. Okay, so if I count this length, so it starts from 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so basically the length is 5. Right? Now let's check off for the error. So there is one error over here. So here this is a form of a method. Okay, so before that you have to write str.length. Okay, str.length, what it will do, it will actually extract the length of this particular variable, that is S, and S has a string which is named as Sachin. Okay, let's fix this off. So the error which we are doing over here. So this is basically a method which you are using, that is str.length. So with the help of str.length only, it will extract the length of this particular string, that is Sachin, and it will give it to the variable which is b. Okay, so let's look this off. Fine. Let's check for one error. Okay. Okay. Now class compile, no syntax error. Now see what was the issue which was happening. Like we took, let's say, S as a string over here. Okay, so here you need to write s.length. That means the variable name and then dot length, if you write, then only you will be able to extract the length of that particular string, and you'll be able to store it in the variable b. Now why the variable b has a data type int, that is integer? Because the length will be in the form of numbers. That is why you need to store this variable in an integer data type. Okay, now what should be the output? The output should be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So let's check out the output. Let's try to run this off. So this is our class. Okay, now see, the output is 6. Why? Because it starts from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But actually if we count it, so in an output it should come to 6. So SACHIN, that is 6 letters. Okay, that means the length is 6, but it starts from the index 0. That is why it goes till 5. Okay, when it comes to an array. Fine. So that's the output, 6. Okay, so that's the one type of method inside Java, which is length, with the help of which you can extract the length of a particular string. Okay, that is, you have to use the variable name in which your string is there, and then after that dot length will be followed. Right, now next is, what if we just want to add two strings together? Okay, so for adding two strings, I said we need to use concat. Okay, concat is for adding two strings. Okay, now one thing before moving on to the concat method is, string is immutable. Okay, immutable means, I'll show you an example. Suppose I take the variable name is s, so s dot concat, and I write it Tendulkar. Okay, fine, and I print system dot out dot print ln s. Okay, now if you see why I'm saying string is immutable means, over here if you see, I have just defined a method that is s dot concat is my method over here, wherein I'm trying to add this particular string to this particular name. Okay, that means my output should be Sachin Tendulkar. Okay, but if I run this particular code, what will happen? It will only give the output as Sachin. Okay, so let's see, and then we'll change this code a bit, and then we'll check what's the difference, why it is immutable. Okay, so here class is compiled, then we'll try to run this off. Now if you see, the output is only Sachin. Even if I used s.concat over here, that means s is the variable name wherein my string Sachin is stored, dot concat Tendulkar, still it gave only Sachin as output. Okay, so now let's see what actually immutable means. So immutable means, if you define a method directly, okay, then it won't work. But if I change it over here, let's say I take b equal to s dot contact, I write it as b over here, and here I take string b. Okay, let's say I have done this. Okay, now see the changes. I just took a variable b, and then I'm just initializing s dot contact. That means my method, which is concat, not contact, it's concat. So this particular method I am just initializing to another variable. So I'm just assigning it to a variable. Earlier what we were doing, we were just using the method. That means we were using something like this. We were just using s dot concat, and then inside that we were just writing the string which we want to add it to our previous screen. This is what we were doing, right? But here what we have done, we have taken this and we have assigned it to a variable which has a data type of string itself. Okay, now if we compile it, it says class compile, no syntax error. Now the output would be Sachin and then Tendulkar both. Okay, so if we see the output, this is the one. Now see the output, it says Sachin Tendulkar. If you want to put a space over here, you can also do that. Okay, so that's what the difference is. In the first One, it showed like when you are using the method which is the concat method directly in Java, then at that point of time it won't work. But when you assign your method to a particular variable, okay, that point of time it will work, okay, and it will concat two strings. That means it will combine two strings together. Okay, now let's close this off, and if you want to add any spaces to it, what you can do, so right over here we can like write space and plus then do okay, and if okay, let's check it out. Okay, let's remove this, and here let's show one more. Okay, now there's no syntax error. Now what will happen? See, before the string Tendulkar, there is a space. Okay, so when we concatenate it, that means when we combine this string with this string, it will give a space in between as well. Okay, so now the class is combined. Let me minimize this off and let's check out the out. Okay, let's clear this off. Okay, still it's not giving the inner space. Let's check it again. It was our fault why it was not giving a space. Okay. Okay, now let's check this out. Okay, now if you see, there is a name Sachin and then there is a space and then Tendulkar got printed. Okay, so this is how you can add a space in your string when you are concatenating it. Okay, now next, the last method which we will learn today, that was to check whether two strings are equal or not. Okay, so I'll check this off in this itself. So let me write a comment. So to check if two strings are equal. Okay, so let's say I have another string s1 and I write as Sachin. Okay, so here what will be the output? The output will be in a form of a Boolean output. That means you'll get the output as true if the two strings are equal. You'll get the output as false if the two strings are not equal. Okay, so how will you check that? So for that, let's take, suppose, string b is equal to s dot equals s1. Okay, that means if this condition is satisfied, so if this condition is satisfied, then true will be the output. Okay, so if I just write system dot out dot print ln and then b. Okay, now let's check out for the errors. Okay, there is one error. Okay, so this boolean cannot be converted to line, so let's just fix that out. So if you see the error exactly, the error says incompatible types. That means I have a string data type, I have a boolean data type. Those two cannot be converted. The string cannot be converted to boolean. So in that case, what we can do, let's just comment this off. Okay, I'll remove this off, and here I'll just, you know, remove this as well. I'll take this off and I'll directly write it over here. System.out.println, and then if this condition is satisfying, that means true will be printed. That is why out.println. So it will, what it will do, s dot equals s1, that means yes, these two strings are same, that means the output will be true. So it will give it in a form of a boolean, that is either true or false. Okay, so if I just compile this, class compile, no syntax error, let's check out for the output. Okay, so the output should be true because both the things are same. If you see, this is the output, that is true. Okay, now same thing, like there are various methods for checking out equals. So what you can do, we can also use this one. So that means if I just write s is equal to s1 over here, and if I just compile this off and if I try to run it, so what I have done, I have just used an equal to sign. That means it is still checking out if my string s and s1 both are equal or not. Okay, if I run this, so if you see, the output will also be in the form of a boolean, that means true. So that was the second method how you can check it out. So first was using equals to method and second was using an operator, that is the equal to operator. Okay, next we can also use another one operator in order to check out two strings, that is we can also write s and then ComparesTo. Okay, so basically what we are doing, we are actually comparing it. So make sure this is caps and this is s dot compare to s1. So string name, first string name is s and then I'm just comparing it to s1. Now what will happen in this particular case, it will return the output in a form of 0 or 1. Okay, if it is true, then it will, send you the output as 0. If it is greater than or less than, then it will send you the output accordingly. Okay, so if I compile it, class compile, let's check the output. This is the one. Okay, now if you see, we got the output as 0. That means they are comparing it and it is true and you'll get the output as 0. So that is the difference between a compare to and an equals method. Okay, in a equals, what is happening? It is giving you the output in a form of a boolean, that is true or false. But when you are using compare to, it will give you the output in zeros or ones. Okay, now what if I just write over here, let's say, so over here I'm just writing, I'm taking another string. Let's say I have a string as string s2 and let's say it is the way. Okay, now what I'll be doing is I am checking these, the first string and the s2 string. Okay, so now if I am typing s dot compare to s2, okay, so if you see, this s string is greater than this s2 string. Why? Because if you calculate the length, this length is 6 but this length is 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, that means s is greater than s2. Okay, so when it is greater than s2, what will be the output? The output will be 1. If it is less than, then the output will be -1. Okay, so if I just compile this and if I try to show you, so that was how you use a compare to. Okay, clear this off. So here it will give me the output as, because S1 is greater than S2 or it is greater than S3, then at that point of time the output will be in form of 1 or -1. So if it is greater than, it is 1, if it is less than, then it is -1. Okay.